The following is a presentation of PH Athletics. From Montvale, it's some baseball on a gray Wednesday afternoon. A league game, the final one of the season for both Westwood and Pascack Hills, as we're just a week and a half away from knowing the state tournament seeds. Westwood 16-5 this year, fighting for the top seed in the North 1 Group 2 section. Hills trying to improve their slot. Right now they're 10th with that 10-11 record. A win today would be a big help when it comes to that. We'll be back in just a moment with the first pitch. And it seems that moment is right now. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Matt Merlino. Westwood won the meeting at their place on Monday 7-1. And if you'll remember, they beat Hills last year. They split the season series against the Broncos to win the league title. Napolitano won't get a strike called there. And this is the Westwood pitcher, a senior, Jack Walsh, 29 for 67 this season. And hits one deep to left field, back at the wall. It'll bounce off the wall and left. And Walsh rounding first. It'll be a leadoff double for the Westwood pitcher. That's a good way to start. Now it'll be their left fielder, Gabe Arcieri, at the plate, with a runner at second and one out. Arcieri this year, he wears 23, he's a junior, taking the most at-bats of anyone on this Cardinal team, 27 for 71. We'll get you the Hills fielders in just a moment. Arcieri readying for a bunt, pulled back, strike called. So Joe Napolitano is the Hills starting pitcher today, and we'll get you his pitching stats in a moment. Jake Szabo, of course, is the catcher. The infielders have seen a couple of changes. Dylan Cass, the freshman, is at first. Gavin O'Donnell is at second. Usually he's at third. Emerson Cho retains his normal position at short, and filling O'Donnell's place at third is Kyle Wenkus. You just saw him wearing the 30 in your frame there. The outfielders features in left the usual second baseman Kyle Marquez. In center, filling Napolitano's usual spot when he's not on the mound, is John Giantonio, and out in right is Christian Lee. 1-2 count for Arcieri with the runner at second, and strike three called on the inside. So Arcieri goes down looking. Vincent Santite on to pinch run for Jack Walsh here. So he is the runner at second, as there's one on and one out for the center fielder, Steve Klein. Westwood lost him earlier this season to an injury, but he's come back and has batted 9 for 18 this season. Senior going to Boston College, I believe, to play Division I football in the ACC. Takes ball one there. And here's the 1-0 to Klein. Inside, ball two. Klein, for his career, a .413 batting average and over 1,000 for his OPS on his 4-year varsity baseball career. 2-0, popped up foul. Been a couple of wind gusts today, nothing too significant. The biggest issue is trying to get through the rain. A lot of clouds and some showers this morning and just a little before this game. Klein swung and missed, so a 2-2 count now for the Cardinals senior. And that one a little high, so we've got a full count at the plate for Steve Klein. A runner at second, that is Santite. A pinch runner for Jack Walsh. Arcieri struck out in between Klein and Walsh's at-bats here. And that will be ball 4, Klein to first. First walk issued by either pitcher today. And up comes Charles Sarlo, the Cardinal catcher. Sarlo this season, a senior as well, leader in doubles on the Cardinals with 4, 19 for 64 this season. 2 on, 1 out in the top of the first inning here, as he'll pop that one up foul. Westwood has already clinched the Patriot Division title as Sarlo swings and misses there. Make it 0-2. While Hills is trying to improve their league position, a 4-5 record in division play. This is the last game in Patriot Division play for both of these teams. Sarlo stays alive there, fouling off the 0-2. The 0-2 back to Sarlo, fouled off again. And that will be a second strikeout for Napolitano, a second called strikeout. 2 away and 2 on here for Vin Ceratelli, the second baseman, looking to get an early lead against Hills. 13 RBIs this season, 16 for 47 from the plate, with just 3 extra base hits. They were all doubles. First pitch to him, in there for strike 1. And Napolitano trying to work his way out of this jam, chasing 100 career strikeouts this year. Came into this game at 89. He has improved that to 91 so far, as Ceratelli fouls that one off. 0-2, and Napolitano trying to work out of this jam. Base hit would give Westwood the lead, as the go-ahead run, Santite, the junior pinch runner at second. Runners both going, fouled off. So we stay at that 0-2 count. Knapp this season, 41 of those 89 strikeouts, make that 43 of those 91 have come on this season, and a 3.11 ERA. Averaging 10.63 strikeouts per 7 innings. And here's the 0-2, skipped in the dirt. Both runners stay, as Szabo had a nice block. On deck, if we get to him, is Nick Klein, the third baseman, then Jacob Hamilton, the first baseman, Joe Ceratelli, the shortstop, and the right fielder Bruno Vega, who is also the Westwood football quarterback. Swing and a miss. It was dropped by Szabo. Throw to first will be low, but in time. And so Napolitano works his way out of that jam, and we're scoreless at the middle of the first. As usual, it will be Kyle Wenkes to lead off for Hills in this bottom of the first inning. He'll be going up against the Westwood pitcher, senior Jack Walsh. 40 strikeouts this season with a 1.73 ERA, 119 strikeouts for his career. This season he's thrown just about 32 innings. The first pitch to Wenkes is in there for strike one. Wenkes going to Monmouth University, of course, next spring, or really in the fall, and then the next spring he'll lace it up for the baseball team. This season for Hills, 24 for 66, a leader in slugging percentage, 682, and a 1.164 OPS as well. He leads Hills in that department too. Hits a deep drive towards left field, going foul, and it is. Wenkes turning for two. He'll stay there. I thought I heard foul ball. And I guess it dropped fair, so apologies for that, but it's two leadoff doubles for both teams today. Wenkes delivers. On a drive that almost went over the fence out in right. So now Kyle Marquise, today the left fielder, 13 for 43 this season as a senior. And you'll see all of the Hills batters and starters today are seniors, as Walsh tries the pickoff and doesn't get the throw. All the Hills starters today are seniors except for Dylan Cass. Wenkes getting a nice lead at second. Keys readying for a bunt. And I believe they're going to say he pulled back in time. 1-0 on that high pitch. The Hills batting lineup today, we've seen Wenkes. We're now seeing Marquise. Emerson Cho on deck, the shortstop. Then it's the catcher, Jake Szabo, in the cleanup spot as Marquise fouls that one off. Batting fifth, is the right fielder Christian Lee. Sixth, Dylan Cass, that freshman, at first base. Then John Giantonio, Gavin O'Donnell, who today's at second, and Joe Napolitano, the pitcher, batting ninth and last. 1-1 for Marquise at the plate. Got that one off. It will go foul again. So 1-2 for the Hills senior as the wind starts to pick up. The Westwood lineup, or the Westwood fielding lineup, is Jack Walsh on the mound. Charles Sarlo is their catcher. Jacob Hamilton is the first baseman today for the Cardinals. Then at second, Vin Ceratelli. At short, Joe Ceratelli, his brother. Nick Klein at third. And the outfielders, Gabe Arcieri in left, Steve Klein in center, and Bruno Vega in right. Pickoff not at all in time towards Wenkes. We stay at a 1-2 count at the plate. Marquise took a big swing and was a little late. And here's the 1-2 from Walsh. Fouled off again. Marquise taking his time here on this 1-2 count, turned into a battle. Pitch a little outside. Good take with 2 strikes for Marquise. 2-2. No out. Runner at second is Wenkes. Emerson Cho on deck, the shortstop. Big hitter for Hills. He's the leader in batting average for the Broncos. or was the leader in batting average with a .419. On base over 50% of the time he's up to bat. Marquise grounds one, a soft one towards second, and he'll beat the throw. What a job from Kyle Marquise. On that slow ground ball, it advances Wankus to third as well for Cho to come to the plate. And Emerson Cho, the shortstop, as we said, batting .419 this season, 26 for 62. He has 12 RBIs and just over 1,000 for his OPS, 526 for his on-base percentage. Big hitting shortstop taking strike one. And Walsh steps off there looking for a pickoff, but did not throw it. Strike two called. It's 0-2 for Walsh. Or for Cho as well. But the count favors Jack Walsh, the Westwood pitcher, looking for the first out. Keys going towards second, pitch inside, and Marquise will steal second base without a throw. And now two runners are in scoring position for Cho, who has no outs and is dealing with a 1-2 count. Cho grounds one towards short. Wankus will be safe. Throw to first is in time, but Hills scores their first run of this game, and it is the first run of either team in this game. 1-0 Broncos with one out, and Marquise, the speedy senior, now at third. Jake Szabo is at the plate. And Szabo, the catcher who has thrived this year, the most hits of anybody on Hills with a 27 for 64 mark, took strike one there. 19 RBIs this season. That one a bit low. 1-1 for Szabo. On deck is Christian Lee. Two and one as Szabo takes a low and away pitch. Two balls, one strike. Here's the pitch to Szabo. Fouled that one off. Szabo trying to keep a big inning going. Umpire looks like called time there. 2-2. And here is the pitch. Popped up, foul, and we'll do it again. Szabo with a base hit into left. Marquise will score. A nice line drive, and Hills has a 2-run lead. And it looks like Szabo's going to stay out there. He will not be pinch ran for. Now this is the right fielder, Christian Lee, 24 for 64. Leader in RBIs for Hills with 20. Took ball one there, good take. 1 out and a runner on first. For Lee, Dylan Cass on deck. Inside. And an early mound conference from Westwood head coach Nick Urbanovich and his pitcher Jack Walsh. Early and quick, it seems. Everybody back to their positions. A 2-0 count for Lee at the plate. With Zabo at first and just 1 out. Strike one called, excuse me. Zabo elicited a pop from Sarlo, the catcher, but not a throw as he went back. Pickoff not nearly in time. And here comes the 2-1. Line drive through into center field. Zabo will hold at second, a base hit for Christian Lee. And that'll bring up Dylan Cass, the freshman today playing at first base. Cass, who is 19 for 56 this season with 8 RBIs and just 1 extra base hit, although he is on base about 40% of the time. 406 is mark there. Taking a low, ball 1. Giantonio on deck, then it's O'Donnell and Napolitano to round out the Hills lineup in what has turned into a huge first inning for the Broncos. 1-1 now as Cass took that strike. Strike 2 is called. Still just 1 out and 2 runners on. Inside, good take with 2 strikes from Cass. And here's the 2-2. Ooh, a late strike call on a low pitch. And that will be strikeout number 1 from Walsh today. Sitting Dylan Cass down and bringing up John Giantonio with 2 on and 2 out. Giantonio has thrived since being moved to the 7 spot. He's 20 for 53 this year with 4 doubles, a triple, and a home run. Also drawn the most walks of any Hills batter with 15. Takes a low, ball 1 right there. That one high and inside for ball 2. Three balls, no strikes for Giantonio. And as we said, O'Donnell and Napolitano, the 2 batters on deck. 8 and 9 hitters in the Hills lineup. The 3-0 in there for strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Walsh. It's low, ball 4, and the bases are loaded for O'Donnell, who can hit in this kind of scenario. So first walk issued by Walsh today, although he has surrendered 4 hits in what is now 7 batters. This is the 8th Gavin O'Donnell. Today the second baseman, 16 for 54 on his senior year with 5 doubles. Swung and missed. He was looking for a big hit there. Sitting on that fastball, it looked like. 6 RBIs this season. Sac fly won't cut it here, but it is only the bottom of the first inning as O'Donnell takes a high ball 1. Low there, 2-1 the count for O'Donnell. And here comes the pitch, popped up a high foul ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 out, and the bases loaded. Hills would like to get a little more out of this first inning given the situation on the base paths, but let's see if O'Donnell can do that or if Walsh can stop the early bleeding from Westwood. Here's the 2-2. It is a high curveball. Full count for O'Donnell, and a walk will bring in a run. Base hit would bring in 2, it looks like. Szabo is at third. Runner at second is Christian Lee, and at first, John Giantonio. And a chance at a pickoff, but Walsh doesn't throw anywhere. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. The bleeding will stop at 2 runs, but it's an important 2 runs as Hills has the lead after just 1 inning in Montvale. It will be Vin Ceratelli to begin this second inning, with Westwood down 2-0 to the Pascack Hills Broncos. Saratelli at second base. He's a freshman. 16 for 47 this year, and a big accomplishment in his freshman season, being a part of this league champion Cardinals squad. High ball from Napolitano, got away from Zabo. Saratelli, as we said, 16 for 47 this season, with only 3 extra base hits. They were all doubles. Napolitano gets the strike call a little low. On base, just about 45% of his at-bats. Now got a 2-2 count at the plate. And swings and misses at the 2-2 pitch. Strikeout number 3 for Napolitano today, and it brings up Nick Klein, the third baseman here for the Cardinals, brother of Steve, of course, and Klein in his junior season, 24 for 59. First pitch to him, a swing and a miss. And that one fouled off. This, in fact, is not Nick Klein. We apologize for that. It is instead Jacob Hamilton, the first baseman. So it's Klein who struck out. And that one a little low for ball 1. Napolitano with his second straight strikeout. It was dropped, but the throw very much in time. 2 up, 2 down, and that brings up Joe Saratelli, the shortstop. Only 9 hits this season on 34 at-bats. On base just 34% of the time. And a low 643 OPS. 2 out, none on in the top of the second inning. Hills trying to hang on to this 2-0 lead. On deck is Bruno Vega. That one grounded and foul. Little high there to make the count 2-1. Swing and a miss from Saratelli. 2-2. Swing and a miss. 3 up, 3 down, and it's all strikeouts from Joe Napolitano. 2-0 Hills at the middle of 2. Joe Napolitano with a chance to help himself. He leads off in the bottom of this second inning. Hills up 2 runs and trying to add to it. After Napolitano, back up to Wenkes and Marquise, the top of the Hills order. Napolitano today on the mound, 6 strikeouts. And just got a piece of that one. So 1-1. Napolitano this year 14 for 50 from the plate. Swing and a miss, a big one there. It is 1-2. 280 average and a 371 on base percentage. Here's a 1-2. Chopper high and foul. We'll do it again. One and two. And here's the pitch to Napolitano, first batter of this bottom of the second, and it's low. 2-2 now. Full count for the Hills pitcher, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And here it comes, payoff pitch, fouled off. Another battle that Walsh has gotten himself into. Needs to be careful of that pitch count. He is the Westwood ace, or one of the couple of aces Westwood could claim to have. Pitching staff having a great season. Napolitano with a high fly ball back deep to center and dropped by Klein. It's at the wall. Napolitano rounding. No, he'll stay at second, but it's a leadoff double. Second straight inning for a leadoff double from Hills, and it comes from their pitcher, Joe Napolitano. How about that? And now it's Wenkes with a chance to really do some damage after his leadoff double. Great job for Napolitano, his first double of his season and his third, only his third of his career. Here's Wenkes, who also had a double back in the first inning to lead off the game, at least for Hills. From the plate, he hits a high fly ball, very shallow center, and caught by the second baseman Serratelli to put one away. Kyle Marquise now, who singled, puts him at 14 for 44 this season. Swing and a miss, a big swing and miss for the senior. Wind picking up now, as you can hear. There's a couple of raindrops falling, but they'll play through that as long as it's not serious rain or the lightning detector goes off. 1-1 the count. Wind blowing mostly from center towards left field. Outside there, it is 2-1 for Marquise. And Marquise will see a 3-1 pitch in just a moment here. Trying to get on base for the second straight inning. As we said, singled in the first. And when he's on base, he can be dangerous, especially if second is open. He pops that one up and fouled onto the softball field. Full count for Kyle Marquise. With the stolen base earlier, now has 5 on his season. Walsh stepping off before the 3-2 pitch. And here it comes. Low, ball 4. Marquise works the walk and brings up Emerson Cho. Grounded into a fielder's choice, but brought in the opening run of the game in Wankus back in the first inning. We'll see if he can get on base himself this inning and maybe do the same with Napolitano at second base instead of Wankus this time. Wankus was at third in the first inning when Cho was at the plate, but same kind of deal as he fouls off pitch 1. Only the second inning and already the second time through the Hills lineup for Jack Walsh. Cho holds off. That one got away. Both runners go, and both runners steal. And now there are 2 runners in scoring position for Cho. Just 1 out and a 1-1 count. Cho holds off. Good call. 2-1. And here comes the 2-1. Swung on, popped up, probably foul, but making the catch at the fence is the Westwood first baseman. That is Jacob Hamilton. And so there are now 2 away. This is Jake Szabo now. 2 runners in scoring position, but he needs a base hit to score them and lengthen the run to 4. Lengthen the lead to 4 instead. Curveball, and it is a ball. 2 out, so they'll run on contact. Sac fly won't cut it to score. Napolitano at third, Marquise the runner at second. Grounded towards Walsh, and a good play by the Westwood pitcher keeps the inning scoreless. Still a 2-0 Bronco lead at the end of 2. We're back. It is the top of the third inning. Rain is starting to pick up. So give me a moment while I try to put an umbrella on. Here's a swing and miss for Bruno Vega, the last batter to take a plate appearance for Westwood today. And it's 2 straight swings and misses for Vega. The right fielder, we mentioned he is the quarterback on the Cardinals football team. And there's strike 3 called. So 3 straight strikes pitched by Napolitano. And that is his 6th straight strikeout, 7th total. All of the outs today so far have been strikeouts from Napolitano. It is a light rain, not horrible, as there's a strike called on Jack Walsh, who doubled in the first. Rain picking up now. 0-2 for Walsh, who is, of course, the Westwood pitcher trying to help himself here, down 2 runs. But it's an 0-2 count, none on, 1 out. That one skipped in the dirt, so the chance at an immaculate inning is done, but still a good shot at a 1-2-3. Third for Napolitano with this 1-2 count. And here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Another K for Knapp. Seven in a row. And 8 total. Bringing up Gabe Arcieri, who was the first strikeout back in the top of the first. And fouled that one off by the Westwood dugout. Popped up foul, 0-2. It'd be a very efficient inning. Here's the pitch, just outside. One and two for Arcieri, the left fielder who struck out in the first, taking a high ball 2. And that one too low. So what was 0-2 is now 3-2 for Arcieri. And here comes the pitch. Line drive, a deep one out towards center. Giantonio under it and makes the grab. 3 up, 3 down with 2 Ks this time for Knapp. It's still 2-0 at the middle of the third. Here's Christian Lee in the bottom of the third inning now. Lee, who singled back in the first. And fouls that one off. It's 1-1. And drills one deep towards left center. It is going to go off the wall. And it will be a stand-up, no, a sliding double for Lee, who beats the throw. 2 for 2 today. This time it's a double. And here's Dylan Cass. Cash showing bunt, got it off. Throw to first is in time. But Lee advances to third on that sac bunt. And here is Giantonio with one out and a runner 90 feet away. Looks at that one low. And pop that one up foul. 1-1 for Johnny G. Skipping in the dirt, Lee will have to stay at third. Probably could have stole home, but maybe not, because Walsh could have came over and covered. Good enough taking the ball as is. 2-1. Strike two called. So we'll see if Walsh can keep things going here. Giantonio rips one into left. That'll score Lee, and it's an RBI single for John Giantonio. 3-0 Hills, as we'll have a mound conference here with Coach Urbanovich, and we'll see if that will be it for Walsh. A rough start. And it looks like it will. In comes Joe Saratelli. So Joe Saratelli is now on the mound. Most worked Westwood pitcher this year, 41 innings pitched, 34 strikeouts, a 2.73 ERA for his career 3.14 ERA, and 113 strikeouts. Over 4 years, that one low towards Gavin O'Donnell. It's 1-0. O'Donnell struck out in the first against Walsh, now the first batter for Saratelli. Runner going, and Giantonio will make it to second in time. Jack Walsh has moved from the mound to Joe Saratelli's position at shortstop. At the plate, 2-0 as Giantonio steals second. That one skipped in the dirt. 3 balls, no strikes by our count. Strike one called. Saratelli readying now as O'Donnell steps back in. Here comes the 3-1. Swing and a miss. And it's a full count. So Westwood, as we said, the projected top seed in North 1 Group 2, same section that everyone in this Patriot Division competes in, except for Indian Hills, Westwood, Ramsey, Mahwah, Hills, and Riverdale, all in North 1 Group 2, as O'Donnell works that walk, first and second for Joe Napolitano. Doubled on his first at-bat, an inning ago. Yeah, but Westwood, the top seed as of right now by the PowerPoint, so if Hills is able to hang on and pull this result off, it'd be a huge boost not only to the overall momentum but to the PowerPoints, and pretty much the last chance to get him, as there's a high fly ball. Giantonio readying to tag. Nice catch made out in right. Giantonio will get to third on the sac fly. That brings Kyle Wenkes back to the plate for the third time today in as many innings. 1 for 2, led off with a double, then flew out on a shallow fly. Runners at the corners and 2 outs for Wenkes. Trying to blow this game wide open. Runner going, and going back is O'Donnell. 1-0 count. Pickoff, getting away. Giantonio will come home. O'Donnell stays at first, and it is a 4-0 Hills lead. Off that failed pickoff. Still 1-0, and still 2 outs. There's a strike called. Popped up to shallow, not very shallow left. It's very deep. Catch made, however. And so we end the third. Hills tacks on 2 more runs in the bottom of the third, and it is 4-0 Broncos after just 3 innings. Joe Napolitano with 8 strikeouts today. He's 3 away from 100 for his career. And with the way he's pitching, he may even be able to get that in this inning. First batter he faces is Steve Klein, who takes ball 1. And that one low. Westwood dugout has come alive as we begin this 4th inning. In there, strike 1, despite the jeering from the Cardinals bench. Napolitano has contributed three and 1 at the plate. Napolitano had a streak of 7 straight strikeouts. Lost that last inning, with the last out being a flyout. As that will be the walk. First Cardinal runner on base since the first inning, and it was Klein who drew a walk there as well. Making up for lost time, it seems. Now Charles Sarlo, the catcher. Ground ball, hot one towards Wenkus. Throw to second in time, back to first, a double play. Five, 6, 3 double play. That brings up Vin Ceratelli. A little high. Ceratelli struck out to end the first inning. A big drive, a base hit into left. And Ceratelli is on with 2 away. Here's Nick Klein, who also struck out. That was back in the second inning. In there, strike 1 called. Strike 2 called. Runner going, ground ball to Chopper towards second. Throw to first from O'Donnell is in time. And not really 3 up, 3 down, but still a scoreless inning for the Westwood Cardinals. They're down 4 runs to Hills at the middle of the 4th. Here's Kyle Marquise, who today is 1 for 1, a single and a walk today. And trying to continue that streak as we go to the top or the bottom of the 4th inning. It is still Joe Ceratelli on the mound, continuing from the 3rd. And that one popped up. It will be fair and caught by Ceratelli at the pitcher's mound. So a quick first out. Emerson Cho now, who's not been on base yet today, but does have an RBI. It was the first run of the game as he grounded into a fielder's choice in the 1st inning, then flew out in the 2nd. First time facing Ceratelli. And has a soft chopper towards 3rd. Good play, and the out is recorded. So 2 pitches and 2 outs for the Cardinals as Jake Szabo comes to the plate. Szabo, who singled and brought in an RBI in the 1st, then grounded out in the 2nd. A senior catcher going to play at William Patterson next season. Will on the hill, as some might call it. And he'll take a low ball. Pop that one up foul. And Szabo takes ball 2. 2 out, none on. In this bottom of 4, a 4-run Hills lead. Strike, a late strike call, 2-2. Ooh, Szabo swung and missed. He hesitated, but still went. It's a strikeout for Ceratelli. First one for him today, and it's 4-0 Hills at the end of 4. Jacob Hamilton, the Westwood first baseman, as we get the 5th inning underway. And Montvale Hills still with that 4-0 lead as they look to avenge Monday's loss at Westwood. Hamilton hits a deep drive. Lee after it and makes the catch and right, one away. So one down in the 5th, and now it's Joe Saratelli, the shortstop. Showing bunt, popped up, and Zabo could not get after it. It went over the fence. Saratelli today struck out in the 2nd inning. This is his 2nd at bat. 1-1 now. And that one skipped in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike. Sun starting to come out and lighten the day for the first time in this game. Inside on Saratelli, 3 balls, 1 strike. For the young man who started today at shortstop is now the Westwood pitcher. Here's the 3-1 high for ball 4. So a 1-out walk issued by Napolitano. Just the 3rd walk is issued today. And now it'll be Bruno Vega, the right fielder, who struck out on his first at-bat. On deck is Jack Walsh, as we'll have a pinch runner for Saratelli, the pitcher. I believe that is the 11, Vincent Santite. This year, 3 stolen bases as a junior. Showing bunt and fouled off his bat. Oh, and 1 for Vega. And strike 2 is called, excuse me. Rain has passed through, and it looks like we're getting some lighter clouds, or no clouds at all. Line drive, getting through for a base hit into right field. That's all it will be, but Vega with his first hit of this game. And that brings up Jack Walsh, 2 on, 1 out. For the man who is now Westwood's shortstop, was the starting pitcher. In there, strike 1 on Walsh. Again, Napolitano chasing 100 career strikeouts on 97 right now with 8 today. 1-1 at the plate for Walsh. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And coming over to the third base coach, who is usually the head coach. If it is, that's Nick Urbanovich, is Jack Walsh, the batter. Getting what I presume to be very important instructions. 2 on, 1 out here, but a 1-2 count for Walsh at the plate. This is his third at-bat, doubled to lead off the game, then struck out in the third. Swing and a miss. Or no, they'll say that one was fouled. So Walsh, by that much, staying alive. And here comes the 1-2. Both runners going. Throw to third is in time. 2 out. And at the plate, with Urbanovich talking to the umpire, it is 2-2. So Saratelli caught stealing, or excuse me, the 11 of Santite caught stealing. 2 out and a runner at first now on a 2-2 count for Walsh. And that one low got away. Should say a runner at second because Vega also stole. Here's the 3-2. And it'll be a walk. So 2 outs and 2 on for Gabe Arcieri, who's 0 for 2. Westwood trying to get some offense here. Down 4-0 as we are coming into the closing stages of this game. 5th inning, just past 5:30. Fouled off by Arcieri. Skipping away from Szabo, but a good block keeps the runners at first and second, respectively. It's 1-1. Vega, the runner, at second. Walsh at first. 1 ball, 1 strike. Inside, but a strike called. 1-2. And there's a ground ball foul. I'm not getting that one. Thanks, Keys. Still 1-2. Line drive, getting through. 1 run will score. It will be Vega on an RBI double from Arcieri. And Westwood, after 5 innings, is on the board. And they have 2 runners in scoring position for Steve Klein, who has 2 walks today. 2 outs, however. After Klein, Charles Sarlo, who's 0 for 2, if we get there. Napolitano pitches strike 1. Got to watch his pitch count, too. It's probably getting up there. But I think he's just thinking about 100. Should have maybe 1 or 2 more chance. Should be just 1 more chance. He won't go Friday, but could go Monday at Old Japan or in the final regular season game against Midland Park, perhaps in the first round state playoff game as well. That one got away from Szabo, but it's okay. Count as 1-2. Right now, as it stands, and this will change, should change, Hills is going to play Valley in the first round in the 7-10 matchup at Valley. We're going to be at their first round state game as it is scheduled right now. If it moves, maybe not. But as it is scheduled right now, we'll be at their first round state game no matter where it is or who it is against. Of course, if it's here, we'll be here. If it's on the road, we'll make the trip. 2-2. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. Career strikeout 98, and that ends or sends us to the middle of the fifth inning. Westwood gets on the board, but they're still down 3. All right, Christian Lee in the bottom of the fifth inning now. Lee today 2 for 2 with a single and a double. Pops one up high and foul. Also was one of the 4 runs today for Hills on that third inning double. Ground ball towards third. Took a bad bounce and got away from Klein. It'll be, I guess, an E5. But Lee on for the third time today. And that brings up Dylan Cass, who is 0 for 1, struck out in the first, sack bunted in the third. Cash showed bunt there. It's a called strike after he pulled back. Infielders coming in. That one fouled off. 0-2 for Cass. And the 0-2 from Saratelli. Popped up into right center. Great catch made by the Westwood right fielder. That is Bruno Vega. So 1 out. Lee is still at first, and here is John Giantonio. Giantonio with an RBI single in the third and a walk in the first. pick off not in time to late. So Hills, after this game, has 2 more chances to improve their state tournament seeding and their PowerPoint total, which is the metric used, as there's a hot grounder to short, throw to second, low, but in time it looks like. So Giantonio on off the fielder's choice. Lee is out, and there's 2 away for Gavin O'Donnell. O'Donnell today 0 for 1 with a walk. That walk came in the 3rd, and he was the first batter that Saratelli faced. But as I was saying, Hills with 2 more chances after today to improve their PowerPoint ranking. Giantonio will stay at first. They have Dumont on Friday. That's their senior night, and we'll have tape-delayed coverage of that one. And then on Saturday, they're going to play at Teaneck in the morning. Saturday is the cutoff. Games after that will not count. State tournament seeds and bracket will be known by the 19th. A deep drive to left center. Giantonio losing the helmet, but coming home. It's going to be an RBI double for Gavin O'Donnell. "5-1 Hills." Giantonio with a huge run to get home from first base. Joe Napolitano now with 2 out, and O'Donnell at second. Doubled in the second, hit a sac fly in the 3rd, and now grounds one towards Klein, and the play made, but Westwood surrenders another run. They are down by 4 entering the 6th inning. Here is the catcher, Charles Sarlo, and time running out for Westwood. Hills needing just 6 more outs, and Joe Napolitano, who's 2 away from 100 career strikeouts, still on the mound, looking for a complete game win. Sarlo today 0 for 2 with a strikeout, and he grounded into a double play, taking strike 1 there. And That one got away from Szabo a little low. 1-1. High, 2 balls, 1 strike. Swing and a miss, 2-2 for Sarlo. On deck, Vin Ceratelli and then Nick Klein. Ground ball towards first. Cass, the freshman, makes the play, and there's 1 away. Excuse me, here is Ceratelli now, who today is 1 for 2 with a single. Vin Ceratelli, the freshman second baseman, taking ball 1. Outside, despite the framing job by Szabo, 2-0. And there's a ground ball towards Wenkes, coming over towards short, really. Throw is off the bag. And so Ceratelli will get on base. You know, Wenkes hasn't played at third base since back in our freshman year 4 years ago, so perhaps a little adjusting to be done. He's been at first base for the last 3 years. And now, this is Nick Klein, who is 0 for 2 today. 1 on, 1 out. Showing bunt, pulled back, strike anyway. Kind of hesitated to put the bat out there. And a line drive for a base hit into left. And both runners will be content with just gaining 1 base. Klein on with his first hit of the day. Now another man who was 0 for 2 today, Jacob Hamilton, the Westwood first baseman. And a little mound conference here with Coach Evans, Napolitano, and the infield, and it looks like that'll do it for Joe Napolitano. A great game for him, 9 strikeouts and just 1 run in 5 1/3 innings. And it looks like Kyle Marquise is coming in from left. We'll see who comes in as the pitcher. And this is Nate Zeff. We'll bring you his first pitch in a moment. So Napolitano comes off just 2 strikeouts away from 100 for his career. You'll have to think he gets another starting opportunity this season with 4 more regular season games plus at least 1 state playoff game. But in his place is the junior Nate Zeff, a 0.00 ERA this year, and pitches strike 1 on the 8, a pinch hitter here, Chris Scuderi, a senior who is 0 for 5, pinch hitting for Jacob Hamilton. That one a little low for Scuderi. Zeff, 10 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, and as we said, a 0.00 ERA. But limited appearances as a reliever. In fact, he's had 2 appearances this season with just 1 pitch. Came in at the end of an inning. So I believe we have a 2-1 count here. And then pitched once, got the out needed, and was replaced for the next inning. But he'll stay on here for a little longer as there's a high fly ball for Scuderi out towards right where Napolitano has gone to. One runner tags and makes it to third. That is the 4 of Vin Ceratelli. So a sac fly there for not Jacob Hamilton, but the 8 of Scuderi. That puts 2 away with runners at the corners for Joe Ceratelli. Younger brother Vin at third. The fielding changes for Hills with Zeff on the mound. They put Napolitano over in right field. He's usually in center when he's not pitching, but Giantonio stays in center and Christian Lee moves from right to left. Kyle Marquez goes to the bench. A very strong wind gust there, strongest of the day really, as there's a ground ball towards third. Cass, they'll call that foul. 1-1. A 1-1 to Joe Ceratelli, who walked on his last at-bat an inning ago. 2-1 now. Struck out on his first at-bat all the way back in the second. 2-1. Pickoff to first, not in time. Runner going. That one popped up and could be catchable. Cass racing back. Over there is O'Donnell, and he makes the grab. An unbelievable sliding catch for Gavin O'Donnell in right field. And that brings us to the middle of the 6th inning with a 5-1 Hills lead. And here is Kyle Wankus, the top of the Hills order on to potentially add some insurance runs and make Zeph or whoever the closer's job easier. Wankus grounds one perhaps over here. Hit the tripod. Where'd that go? Back here. Give me a sec. So, 1-1 for Wankus after the foul ball. And grounds one. Bad hop, but through for a base hit. Or good hop, I guess, for me in this case. Marquise now 1 for 2 with a walk as well, singled in the first inning. And Marquise waiting a little. Both Gavin O'Donnell and Dylan Cass are warming up. It'd be interesting to see Cass in a relief opportunity. We've only or at least I've only seen him start this year, as there's a bunt laid down by Marquise. Throw to second is in time. So the sac bunt instead becomes a fielder's choice. 1 out and a runner at first for Emerson Cho, who's not had a hit yet today. In fact, the only time he got on base was on a fielder's choice in the first inning. Cho takes ball 1. That one popped up very high, could be catchable, and it is. So 2 out off that infield fly. And the man making that catch was Hamilton, the Westwood first baseman. Jake Szabo now, the cleanup hitter for Hills, who has not had a hit since the first inning. Had a single then with an RBI tacked onto it, and then grounded out and struck out. Took ball 1 on that pitch, however. This is still Joe Ceratelli, runner going. Szabo with a line drive out to left. It is caught. So the bid for insurance runs comes up short. And Hills with 3 more outs now to get a big upset against Westwood. To close it out, Gavin O'Donnell. This season, 16.1 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, and a 3.66 ERA. Trying to close out a big upset for Hills against Westwood it would be. And the due-up three for the Cardinals, Vega, Walsh, and Arcieri. Vega first, who is 1 for 2. And swings and misses. That one a little high, 1-1. Skipping in the dirt there. 2 balls, 1 strike for Bruno Vega. That one fouled off. 2-2. Check swing. Appeal, he did not go. Full count for Vega. Top of the 7th. And that one fouled off. The 3-2. Called strike 3. 2 outs away. And here is Jack Walsh. Doubled in the first, struck out in the 3rd, walked in the 5th. Little high there. With O'Donnell on the mound, Kyle Marquise has come on and moved towards second base where O'Donnell was. Marquise started the game in left field, sat once Nate Zeff came in and relieved Joe Napolitano, and now is back in at second base. Swing and a miss there for Walsh. It's 2-1. Low there. 3 balls, 1 strike. Inside, but a strike called. Full count for Walsh. Just outside. So a strikeout and a walk, and that brings up Gabe Arcieri. Arcieri, 1 for 3. His last at-bat, his only hit, an RBI double. Brought in the only run of the game for Westwood. Taking strike 1. Popped up a high fly ball, racing after it Giantonio in right, but it goes over the fence foul. 0-2 at the plate now for Gavin O'Donnell. Napolitano and Giantonio have swapped. Knapp back in center where he usually is. John out and right where he usually is. John started the game in center, and that one hit Arcieri. The 8th hit by pitch he has drawn this year. That is one of the top numbers in the whole state. So now 2 on with 1 out. And it is Steve Klein who is at the plate with 2 walks and a strikeout. Strike called late. Hills 2 outs away, but only up 4 runs, so the tying run is on deck. Swing and a miss for Klein. A very strong wind gust as O'Donnell's pitch is a little low. 1-2. Ground ball getting through towards center field. They're going to hold the runners. And so the tying run comes to the plate. That is Charles Sarlo, who is 0 for 3 today. With 1 out, Vin Saratelli on deck. Bases are loaded. Sarlo came into this game slugging .359 this year. Vin Saratelli slugging .404. Neither have a home run on their season, or in Sarlo's case, in his career. We do have a mound conference with Coach Evans, Gavin O'Donnell, and such. And it ends just as quickly as it started. Still 2 outs away. Charles Sarlo, they call him Chuck. He is at the plate right now, the catcher. Wind is whipping the nets that protect our crowds from foul balls as there's a ground ball towards short. Good job on the hop. Throw to first is a little late. They do get 1. So there will be runners at the corners with 2 out. Coach Evans is out there pleading his case. It will not matter. 1 run did score. So it is a 5-2 game now. And the tying run is still at the plate this time. It is Vin Saratelli. So Sarlo with a ground out. He's 0 for 4 on the day. Pinch runner coming to first, or excuse me, a fielder's choice. My apologies there. Pinch runner came on for Sarlo. I believe again that is Santite. And here is Vin Saratelli. Could tie it with 1 swing. And was looking for that swing right there. A freshman fouling off pitch 1. No balls, 1 strike. Hill's trying to hold on. It'd be a huge upset. Westwood, again, projected to be the top seed in the North 1 Group 2 sectional tournament, in which both of these schools will take part in after Memorial Day. First game scheduled for the 26th. That pitch got away from Szabo, back there in time to keep the runners in position. 1-1. Hills right now would be the 10 seed, but the win today would certainly help with their PowerPoint totals, hopefully bump them up 1 or even 2 spots. If they're in the top 8, they'll have a home playoff game. That one fouled off. 1-2. And now Westwood down to their final strike here. O'Donnell looking for it to close it out. Here comes. Swing and a miss! And the Broncos pull off a huge upset of Westwood in their final league game. 5-2, the final score. Hills takes the win. We're back with these boys for our final regular season baseball game of this year. That'll be on Friday when the boys take on Dumont for their senior night. We'll have tape delayed coverage for that, and we'll be here for their state game wherever and whenever that might be, unless it's on the 27th or the 28th. As of now, stay tuned here on PH Athletics for all that and all Hills sports coverage. Thanks for joining us. I'm Matt Merlino. So long. Thank you for watching this presentation of PH Athletics. For more information, visit hills.pascack.org/athletics.